Hey guys, new video. Today you probably already know what we're looking at. Is the iPhone SE third generation worth buying in 2026? Here is my iPhone SE 3. I have bought in a little bit ago. As you can see, I got the apps here to perform. Also, I did the custom wallpaper that's on iOS 26.5. Absolutely looks nice. Tried making the best of it by trying to make it by the SE original wallpaper. The blue didn't really look good, so I didn't put blue, but absolutely looks nice. And it randomizes the colors too each time you turn it off and turn it back on. If you probably unlock it, look, see. But anyways, how does this phone perform? So first of all, we're gonna be talking about the specs. So the iPhone SE originally came out with the A15 Bionic chip, which is basically the same chipset that the iPhone 13 uses. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same 6-core GPU with 2 performance for efficiently cores. GPU 16. Yeah, it was used in the same iPhone 13 series. RAM is 4 gigabytes, so not too much. And it doesn't get the new Apple Intelligence performance stuff. So the storage came out originally with 64, 128, and 225 gigabytes. This one is specifically a 128 gigabyte model. It has a 4.7 inch Retina LCD. So no OLEDs that you're getting here. This is complete trying to be budget, which it wasn't when it first came out. It was like around 300 to 400. I can't remember the price. People were complaining about it. Has of course Touch ID, a 12 megapixel rear camera, and I'm pretty sure a 12 megapixel front camera. No, 7 megapixel. Okay, so 7 megapixel front camera, 12 megapixels back. Does do 4K video. The most likely, if you have a 100% battery health, is if you use it for just typical like texting or whatsoever, maybe 5 hours. A little bit of gaming here, maybe 2 hours, possibly, I don't know, 3. But if you're just like an old person who just does like texting or a little bit of social media here and there, like very light, should be around probably a couple hours, around there, 7 maybe, I don't know. But don't take my word for it, because I don't know. For the gaming, it's just gonna be 2 hours. That's what I know. Has a SIM card, of course, SIM tray, so you can use a SIM card in this phone. Also does eSIM. Overall, iOS performs well. I had a Gen 2 SE, and it kind of lagged here and there, and it wasn't really too good. I didn't really like it. This SE3 though has pretty decent performance. I'm not gonna lie. When I was using it as a secondary, now I'm using the whole like 4 other phones as secondary. So yeah, you can get these pretty cheap for around possibly $50 in broken screen, or possibly $80 in somewhat good condition. I got this in $80, but it's locked to US Cellular right now. They're currently dropping still in price. But if you don't want one like decent condition, 256 a gigabyte, most likely you have to spend around 150 to 120, I guess, for 256 good condition, possibly. Battery health a little bit degraded, not too sure. So yeah. So let's first start with social media. YouTube. So does take a little bit, but yeah, there you go. There's my channel, and let's watch the HP upgrade video.
laptop. So in a short,
I reinstalled Windows to make this a little bit more faster. Okay. And you gotta place the RAM at a 4 gigabyte stick, and the speed is 32. I'm pretty sure the speed actually lowers down, so that doesn't really matter. Pulled this out of a other laptop from a laptop that I recently upgraded. The sticker's peeling off, and it's gonna be Android based. Yeah, it does pretty good. It does the full 2K, I guess. Pretty decent playback for the phone. Where it dropped a little bit of battery life. I actually haven't charged this in a little bit. I think I charged it like 3 days ago, and I just left it on idle, on like sitting on the table. So yeah. TikTok. So it's pretty decent. It's not bad. Now, of course, you're gonna be crazy scrolling like that. You're just gonna be like that, scrolling, 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 and most likely you're just gonna be looking at the comments and stuff like that. It's not bad. It's not too bad. Other thing is Instagram here, and yeah, it does pretty well performance. Not so bad. It does take a little bit to load. We do have liquid glass in it. Most likely Reels will perform the same thing. So not too bad. Next up is going to be Geometry Dash. This phone does pretty decent performance since it's a 13 processor. People say that 13 has been lagging really badly on iOS 26, but as you can see, it does completely fine. It's not crazy lag that you're gonna be getting from iOS 26. People say the iPhone 13 series has been lagging, but it's really the fault of a bad, like most likely a bad battery that needs to get replaced, or the storage like being really full and it can't really process background data. But yeah, it does pretty nicely. This phone isn't full to the brim, and the battery isn't that bad. It's around like 90%, so yeah, it's not too bad. The performance is still pretty decent, as you can see. Next up, Roblox. One of my all-time favorite games is Greenville in Roblox, so yeah. Yeah, now the thing is about Greenville is the RAM usage is gonna be taken up a lot, and it might not be able to fully adjust it, or fully like, the RAM takes a lot on Greenville. When I used to have the iPhone 13, it would lag a little bit. Some of the graphics would come out all fuzzy, like. And yeah, it's not the best. It's not really optimized for this phone. It most likely needs a 6 gigabyte or 8 gigabyte phone to handle fully if you want to stay in the game. Sometimes Roblox tells you the memory is low and then it crashes. So yeah, overall it does fine. It should do fine in other games. Video, vibrant visuals. Oh, it's actually doing pretty fine. It's performance, of course, which most likely you're gonna want performance 60 FPS, because sometimes if you put unlimited, it's gonna lag like crazy. Like, it doesn't do the full. For these phones, you should do around 60 FPS since the screen is not fully 120. It didn't take like a crazy amount to load actually, but yeah, I haven't used this Pocket UI in a little bit. It's a little bit weird because my settings are completely different, but it's not too bad. I mean, yeah, the render distance is definitely gonna lower a lot because you're using performance visuals instead of like actual like favorable, I guess, in looks. But it's not crazy like unplayable. It might get a little bit more laggy because of the RAM, of course, the RAM situation. But it's not crazy laggy. Let's say you don't like shaders or your battery life is draining because of shaders or this and that. Well, we can go save and quit and change it to regular, of course. Okay, so we now change them back to normal, and it actually just seems about the same. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, the render distance seems a little bit more cranked, but not too crazy. You can probably adjust it, but try to adjust it to the point where it doesn't lag, because I know there's a point where it starts lagging a little bit. So this is playable though. This is very smooth. So yeah. Okay, so we're in Hive and there's a little bit of lag and there's that event, but yeah, it's doing pretty much fine. So it should be playable in games. I'm not going to be playing a game because it does fine on online play, and if I just go in the game it should be about the same, and then I need to adjust some settings if I want to play a game. But yeah, it should be fine. As you can see, it runs smoothly. So yeah, I haven't touched anything, of course, like in the other videos where I touched the thing to be the thing right there, the FOV to be more asphalt. The last game that pretty much will be doing here. Now this phone has been performing pretty well. It's been 18 minutes, which I can probably cut down in the editing process. Age, let's put that we're 100. Okay, maybe just being 100 years old will probably make it crash. Alright, finally we're in a game. After this thing puts me 20,000 ads. Forces me to try to play a game. Alright. So, seems like it's performing pretty well. I'm pretty sure the screen dimmed. I already know how to play. Why is it making me do a tutorial? Is it just this game that makes you do a tutorial? We're doing a pretty solid. Now this game is very good. This game is optimized pretty decently, so I'm pretty sure that's why it's running pretty well. So overall, yeah, it does pretty well. Now, one more thing. We're gonna be talking about camera performance. So we're going to be comparing the camera quality off the iPhone 13 and the SE. Now, the thing is about the SE is I accidentally deleted the one that was in 4K 60 FPS. This is the only one that does 4K 60 FPS. This one does 1080p. It's 30 frames per second. So you're gonna be seeing the 30 frames, but it's 60 FPS. But it should look about the same with 60 FPS. The camera quality for the video quality should look about as the same as the photo of the leaves at the start. There's a photo of leaves, whatever, in the tree. So yeah, that it should look around like that. Maybe a little bit more natural color like. But yeah. Video quality off the iPhone SE 3. How does it look? Does it look good? This is the video quality from the iPhone 13. How does it look? Does it look good? And there we go. Overall, the camera quality off these two phones. The SE kind of likes to be a little bit more darker, I guess. While meanwhile, this one likes to be a little bit more brighter-ish, more of that color. The iPhone 13 did a pretty good job with the leaves. And the iPhone 13 Pro Max photo. The zoom is about the same. They look almost identical. This is featuring the zoom. This, I think this is digital zoom, and this one does digital too. Maybe, I don't know. It could be wrong. Could be wrong. Don't take my word for it. But is it worth using this phone in 2026? And here's my honest opinion. It's pretty decent if you're on a budget. If you're on a pretty tight budget, looking for a phone, for specifically an iPhone that you want to do FaceTime, iMessage, have a solid camera, unlike those other cheaper alternatives like the Samsungs and stuff. Maybe you can't afford a Pixel at the moment. Or you don't want Android because you have a full Apple ecosystem and want to connect a newer phone to it. I totally understand. You can go with this. The most I would spend, me personally, if you're going for the big amount of storage for 256, 150. If you're going for the lowest storage amount, around probably 80 to 90. But I have this one for 128, around $80, but it's locked to US Cellular. One of the things that the owner never told me is the camera does have issues. Who knows why? My little brother actually mains one of these, and it's pretty solid for him. So this is a pretty good first kid's phone. A pretty good phone for your grandma, grandpa, and if you're on a very tight budget or on a budget. Now, if you have a little bit more room and don't want a bigger screen, like sometimes the typing could be a little bit more cramped if you have big fingers, big hands, I don't really advise you getting the iPhone 13, I mean the SE, because it has its downsides. And so yeah, it doesn't have really good battery life, and yeah, it has a few problems. But other than the other uses I told you about, for like people who can want to use it, it's pretty decent. Now, a phone that I would recommend in 2026 is around maybe like $100 more. I recently have been eyeing eBay, looking around iPhones, seeing the price of them, and the iPhone 13 has started to drop in price. And these, I think the most that you can get them around right now is like 150, 128 gigabytes starting storage model. No, so you can actually, if they're locked, so most likely if you're getting a 150 device, they're locked. If you want to buy something more better, they're about 190 to 200. So they're mostly, so there's actually one right here from Okay, this guy is a pretty. So this is a 13 128 fair condition. It has a few scratches here and there. Not too bad. Oh, the camera lens is actually broken. But as you can see, if we go here, 190, around 200 for unlocked, something for 128 base model. You can spend like an extra what, like $50, 100. So I mean $60 plus with taxes and everything. You probably get yourself a iPhone 13 with 2 cameras, better battery life, OLED screen, better cameras. Overall, just a better phone. These two do use Lightning. They started using Type-C on the iPhone 15 series, so yeah. So you're a gen behind on the charging port, but genuinely, if you're looking for a better phone, if you're willing to spend $60 more on a phone, then yeah, you get the iPhone 13. But if you want a phone for your kid or your grandma, or you're on a tight budget, then yeah, the iPhone 13 is a pretty decent phone. And it's gonna be a better phone if you don't do gaming. Actually, if you just do social media scrolling, texting, whatsoever, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good phone. I can't lie. I actually use this for a little bit, and it's pretty decent. So yeah, is it worth buying the iPhone SE 2022 in 2025, 26? It is. It is perfectly fine. The phone performs pretty decently, especially when this thing is about to get iOS 27. This thing is about to perform solid with iOS 27. So anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys liked this video. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.